good day, adventurers. Today we're going to be talking about one of my gauntlets. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Gauntlet of Divine Protection. The Gauntlet of Divine Protection is a very unique gauntlet. It goes really well with healers. It is ideal in the hands of a cleric, but it is really good in the hands of anybody. Once again, my gauntlets should be useful in anybody's hands, from a ranged character to a melee character to a caster. The Divine Protection Gauntlet is all about keeping the wearer alive, but also trying its best to try and keep others alive. So without further ado, I say let's get into the gauntlet, shall we? So let's go ahead, let's bring up the document, and let's make big me go away and little me appear. Apparently my thing was activated all the way down there. Alright. So here we have the Gauntlet of Divine Protection. There we go. I had to make my mouse reappear. When this gauntlet is put on, a striking pain shoots from the arm to the brain, creating an invisible link, causing a splitting headache with blinding, deafening, and breathless side effects. So again, sharing in that little mechanic in which these gauntlets, when they're put on, that there is some sort of pain that you have to work through right away at the beginning. At level 1, very simple. It's not overpowered. It's very mundane bonus, so level 1's not amazing. But I promise you this gauntlet's going to make up for its lackluster level 1 of a +1 wisdom. I understand to a lot of people this isn't that important. It is an increase to your will skill, save, if you end up having an odd skill ability point for wisdom. But if not, it's going to increase more as you know these ability bonuses to do. At level 2, you gain your first ability called Life Channel. You gain the ability to channel energy as the cleric class ability for 1d6 at level 2 and plus 1d6 for every 3 levels you possess. You may channel 3 plus half your hit die times per day. If you already have the channel class ability or gain the ability at a later date, the dice you use for channeling change to d8s, and you gain an extra amount of channels per day equal to half your hit die. So as we see, it's already really, really strong because it is a channel ability, so anybody can end up turning into a cleric. But at the same time, if your cleric happened to be the one to put this gauntlet on, he now just became much more effective because now his channels are essentially cure spells, which is really, really strong. Now, I will state, it's not listed here, but I will state that you have to choose, and it mainly comes down to your alignment. Your alignment's going to dictate if you're evil in some way, you're going to channel negative energy. If you're good in some way, you're going to channel positive energy. If you're neutral, you get to choose, and so that is something to keep in mind as both a GM and a player, that you get to choose. So if they choose negative energy, they can be very powerful opponents for your NPCs and your beasts and stuff like that. But if they choose positive energy, they're going to be extremely deadly towards undead, and they're going to be very powerful against or just keeping the party alive. Level 3, your wisdom's bonus increases to a +2. At level 4, you gain your second ability called Still Standing Self-Preservation. As a swift action, you may expend 1 use of channel energy to heal yourself 1d6 for every 2 levels you possess, minimum 1d6. I put the minimum in there because just in case for whatever reason you get your level decreased at this early of a game. I don't know, might happen. But yeah, so just a little simple ability. Again, if you were already playing a cleric, you got a bunch of channel abilities that you get to use up to keep yourself alive. This way you can heal yourself a little bit more than you could heal your teammates. So if you are, it's about that like I said, self-preservation. If the healer is in danger, they can heal themselves more efficiently than they could heal the entire party. Maybe they should use one of their channels to heal themselves first and then heal the party. It's just something to think about. Level 5, you gain a +1 to your intelligence score. Again, I understand that for some people this could be seen as a dead stat. At the end of the day, it's more skill points, and it is a useful skill for knowledge rolls and stuff like that. Very useful for wizards and for clerics and for rogues. I understand that for the other half of the classes, not useful. Sadly, it balances out. Chance has it there's always one ability or one bump or one thing that's on these gauntlets that is not great for everybody. But for the most part, each gauntlet should be useful by anybody. Level 6, we gain a new ability called Divine Blessing. Weapons in the main hand gain the holy or unholy special ability. Holy if you channel positive energy, unholy if you channel negative energy. So this is another really powerful effect, especially early game when you're up against demons and devils or undead. You gain this unique little ability to do additional holy or unholy damage. Unholy isn't going to be as useful. I mean, channeling negative energy to hurt your opponents is probably extremely useful, so it balances out that your unholy weapon damage isn't that useful for dealing with your opponents, unless you happen to face down something good for some reason. Level 7, your intelligence bonus increases to a +2. At level 8, you gain an ability called Still Standing Strong Stance. As a swift action, you may expel one use of your channel energy to gain a sacred AC bonus equal to half your hit die till the end of your next turn. So this is once again another bonus to try and keep you alive, so that way you can keep healing people. Maybe you don't need heals, maybe you just need to make sure you don't get hit this next turn or something like that. So you can expend a use of channel to make your AC much higher, so that way you can't get hit, so you don't take damage at all. And so you can keep fighting, you can keep everybody alive. Level 9, you gain a +1 to your charisma score. Again, another ability that people might find is a dumb stat, but for channel users, this is, especially if you already get the channel ability from a class or something like that, it's a pretty big effect. Other than that, it's still pretty useful being able to deflect damage in an instant, or heal or harm people in an instant. You're being able to use charisma to manipulate others into believing that you are a divine character of judgment or a divine tool of judgment is a really cool thing and something you should play off of. Level 10, your Divine Blessing ability, weapons in the offhand gain the holy/unholy special ability, and the damage stacks while wielding two-handed weapons. Just like in previous gauntlets, like the Gauntlet of Burning Faith, essentially the abilities that go off in both hands and then double up if you're wielding two-handed weapons. Level 11, your charisma bonus increases to a +2. Level 12, you gain a new ability called Still Standing to the Bitter End. If you would be dealt enough damage to drop you to 0 or fewer hit points, you instead have a 25% chance to heal twice the amount of damage done. What that means is that you heal enough to negate the damage that would have been done, and you instead heal the amount of damage that would have been done. So it negates the damage that would have been done, and you heal what would have been done. You don't heal twice and negate the damage. You negate the damage and you heal once. Just to make that clear in case it's confusing in any way. Level 13, you get a +1 to your Constitution score. Everybody likes Constitution. More hit points is always a good thing. Level 14, you gain the ability Still Standing Cleanse. As a swift action, you may expend one use of channel energy to heal yourself of one condition. Very powerful effect, especially in the late game where you're facing more of those negative effects like petrification, stuff like that. Well, petrification, maybe not that one because you're not in control to be able to do anything. But essentially other effects, like curses and stuff like that, you can cleanse those things. Fear, so on and so forth. It's a very powerful effect, and it shouldn't be seen as a light ability. Your GM should be using status effects on you in the late game, because status effects is kind of the balancing point of the late game. So this should be a very powerful effect. If not, if your GM doesn't run it, I apologize. Level 15, your Constitution score increases to a +2. Level 16, Still Standing to the Bitter End changes from a 25% to a 35% chance to heal twice the amount of damage dealt. Level 17, Still Standing Self-Preservation's ability to heal yourself 1d6 +2 for every 2 levels you possess, and your Life Channel ability increases to 1d6 +2 at level 2, and plus an additional 1d6 +2 for every 3 levels you possess. And you may channel 5 plus half your hit die times per day. Now, I didn't write it in there, but if you do already have the channel class ability and you're doing D8s, just add a +2 to all your D8s. And then also +4, your wisdom, your intelligence, your charisma, and your cons all change to +4s instead of +2s. Level 18, you're still standing to the bitter end, changes from a 35% chance to a whopping 50% chance. There is now a 50-50 chance every time you are about to be killed, you instead heal and fight back. And then level 19, you gain a new ability called Still Standing Divine Shield. You become surrounded by divine power, gaining a spell resistance of 30 and a DR 15/epic. Just to clarify, DR 15/epic are critical hits, and anything your GM decides was epic. Hello, Trouble. Next and finally, level 20, you gain an ability. All allies within 30 feet of you benefit from your Still Standing to the Bitter End ability, but only at a 25% chance. So now, any ally within 30 feet of you, if they drop to 0 or fewer hit points, they have a 25% chance to heal instead, which is a big deal for your entire party. You are now not only the healer, but you are a critical piece to the party in which you are keeping everybody alive, which is a huge deal at level 20 when you're getting hit by the heavy hitters and the most dangerous creatures. You now are giving everybody an additional second chance to come back with a fury, especially when those hits that could be killing you could do massive amounts of damage, is healing you instead massive amounts. And then finally, as the descriptor says, the gauntlet fades as ethereal armor encases the wearer. This is exactly that. It's ethereal armor. It is kind of always there. It's a little see-through, a little kind of whitish bluish glow. And so it's just another thing to make your character look more godly, more epic, and you should play off of it with your charisma score. And it is also just something to be able to role play with, and it's just a lot of fun to be able to role play this divine character, this character sent by the heavens or the hells to do justice or to damn those that get in your way. But yeah, that is the Gauntlet of Divine Protection, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys play with it, and I hope you guys come back and tell me how much fun you had with it. If you had any experiences that are just crazy, go ahead and let me know. Come see me at one of my streams. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comment of a more recent video. Go ahead, let me know in any way you want. I'll be glad to read it. I'll be glad to read what happened and what you guys have been through. If you have ideas on how to make this gauntlet better or something like that, go ahead, let me know that as well. I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed. There will be a link in the description of this video if you guys want to click on this. I've said it in my shorts that these are here, and I hope that you guys understand that. So you, at any time, you don't have to come back to the video. You can just go down to the description, find the link to the document, and save those links instead, so you don't have to keep coming back to the video. Otherwise, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the ones to come, and I hope you guys have a safe adventure.